Alrighty, big. So, you asked for my build. I'm not entirely sure why you asked for my build because honestly, I consider myself pretty mid-tier. I've not updated this build since pretty much like a month or two after they came out with subclassing, and I was told this was the meta. Put this together and went with that, and I've not touched it since then. So I am going to send you, actually you'll see, I'm going to send you a parse log, that way you can see all the stuff there, but I realize there's other things in here like the skill lines and the passives as well, and I don't know at all what I'm doing here, but I thought I would also give you a demonstration since you're asking, and the things I would do differently of this build if you're doing it from the beginning instead of just trying to copy exactly what I'm doing, because there's a lot of things in my build that you can definitely improve upon that I'm either too lazy to do or it's just way too fucking expensive for the little bit of damage increase that it would be giving me. So, for instance, my race is a high elf, and high elf is obviously not ideal for a stand build character because all of your passives are magicka based, which is very less than ideal. When I'm parsing like this, pretty much I just keep my first three on each of those. I have those extra dots that I can use on my other two bars, or on each of my bar that I can cast, or that also counts as pre-dots, but I found that it just, and this is also a terrible parse, and I am sorry for the ADHD of switching sentences a lot. Um, so this is a very bad parse because I'm also talking about what I'm doing while I'm doing it, and so I'm not focused on it, and so it's not a very good demonstration, and the number here is probably going to be ass as well. But yeah, so hopefully trying to cover all of those things that I would either do differently when you're building this build, or just things that I've done badly, or just explaining why some of the things work. And the more I talk about this, the more I realize that I don't really think you actually need a demonstration of a full parse. So after this beam, gonna end that, and then go into that. All right. So to start with, champion points, I have pretty basic warfare, master at arms, biting aura, exploiter, and wrathful strikes, and of course all of your passives on top of that. I am going to go into the fitness line because I think they're important for trials. Expert evasion, a lot of raid leads will tell you to switch this out, but that is always helpful to have. Slippery, same thing, it's always helpful to have. Boundless vitality, you need that extra health, and just that's me because I am a res master. Alright, so then when you come into your lines, I have Herald of the Tomb, Adric Spear, and Assassination. Assassination, you are using this line simply just for this. You never cast this, you are only having this ability for that, for the buffs it gives you. So it gives you that major proficiency, or major prophecy, and major savagery, and spell and weapon critical rating, which is very nice. And then if you get stuck in the wrong bar like I do in Cloud Rest, it becomes a nice backup ability to use. And then having that also gives you the passive abilities, which are of course nice. And the Adric Spear line, or yeah, the Adric Spear line, the only reason I have this line is for its passives. So increased damage, or increased critical damage, and minor berserk and minor protection. Um, that's completely trash, I think. And that. But you only get these passives if you have one of the Adric Spear abilities slotted. So there's nothing saying you can't do any of these others, but that's a pure shield. Alexa, please stop. You didn't hear that. Blazing Spear is just a nice dot that you can throw down from time to time, and it's magicka based versus where the rest of your thing is stamina based, which gives your stamina sometimes to regenerate from time to time. So that's the reason I use these two lines. That one is mainly for the passive, and this one is mainly just for relentless focus. I've heard some people switch these out from time to time, but even I was talking to XGX about it earlier today, and he was saying, or they were saying that honestly the setup I have is still pretty decent. So obviously, if you are creating a character from scratch to do this, don't do what I did and make a high elf, because high elf, their racials do not help you at all for this. That's nice, but that extra magicka is not being utilized well, and I'm too lazy to just make a new character. And that's decently used, but yeah, but it's not the best race you could choose. I think either Wood Elf or Dark Elf are better for this build, just not the elf I chose. And then obviously I'm using two-handed and dual wield. Uh, yeah, and I don't need to go into all those individual abilities. You'll notice that I have Resolving Vigor on my bar. It's just the longer I've been playing this game, the more I've realized that you can always do more damage if you're still alive, and it doesn't matter if I can push out higher numbers if I'm dead. So this is where if you don't want to have Resolving Vigor on your bar, or you don't want your team to have Resolving Vigor on their bar, most people will be slotting Barbed Trap, and honestly, I could probably push out a higher parse if I slotted Barbed Trap. So yeah, that's a good ability you can put there instead, especially since your Flail heals you, and the Pragmatic gives you that shield as well. Of course, you can also just switch that to be the other version, and then it's Magicka base, and it does more damage. The other thing is, since you're basically like asking for this, and I don't want to lead you astray, I use Deadly and Null Arca. Null Arca, obviously, always use that, but the Deadly, I've been told, can be switched out uh, for the IA set there, the whatever it's called, the Spattering Disjunction, because of that extra, because of the 5 item buff. It gives you an extra crux, which allows you to spend more time beaming instead of having to flail, which would be very nice, and I have considered switching to. But to keep that, and because of the increase your damage done by status effects by 40%. So it is a very nice set to have. The only reason I haven't switched to it is because Deadly is still a very good set by comparison. So it doesn't matter a ton that I switch it, and if I did switch it, I would have to make Deadly my body set to be able to proc uh that extra crux easier, which means I would have to completely switch out all of my armor and make my Null Arca my weapon set, and then make the Spattering Disjunction set. And honestly, that's just a lot of work I don't feel like doing. So there you go. There you can either use Deadly from Cyrodiil, or you can use Spattering Destruction from IA. Either one of those work, but Null Arca is the other set I would definitely combine that with. And I don't need to go into all of that stuff because that is in the parse. I think that's pretty much everything else. Obviously, buy stats, stamina, and health food is what I use. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. Um, yeah, I think so. I think that's pretty much everything. Basically, there's definitely things that you can improve upon this than what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. And of course, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask me. But I didn't know when I could like drag you into a VC to just talk about this, so I thought I'd just put together a video and send that to you. So have fun watching this 8.5 minute video about all of this, about me rambling. Uh, I guess that's it.